Welcome to this video on the Neti pot. The Neti pot is a sinus cleansing or sinus rinsing technique that can be found in yoga. It's one of the cleansing techniques called a Kriya in yoga, and that's where I found it. Now, many people have been asking me about the Neti pot for many years now, and I would have liked to be able to share it with you all personally, but seeing as I can't be with you personally, I thought I'd make this video so that you could give it a shot on your own. Now, how did I find Neti pot? About 10 years ago, I would wake up in the morning and with this really awful dry mouth, dry tongue, and I thought, why? And I realized that I was not breathing through my nose that night. In fact, I couldn't breathe much through my nose at all. And I thought, this is strange, because when I was young, I was able to breathe through my nose. So what's happening here? So I did some research, and I found this yoga kriya, the Neti pot, and I decided to give it a shot. Now, back then, we didn't have the internet like we have it now, so there was no YouTube, nobody on YouTube doing it. In fact, no one I knew about the Neti pot. So I ordered a video, a VHS from India, and about 2 weeks later, I get this video back, and it's this old yoga master out in this field next to some goats doing this Neti pot. And I thought, oh my God. I was a bit scared, a little bit hesitant. I thought, I got to give it a shot. So I tried it, and the benefits to me have been amazing. I can breathe now through my nose beautifully. Now again, the results vary for everybody. So maybe this will work for you. Maybe it won't work for you. What can it help with? Well, allergies. Say you have some allergies and you go to your friend's house and they have 10 cats and you're allergic to cats. Now, I love cats, but say you go home and you've got this terrible feeling. So you do the Neti pot, and it helps you get over some of those symptoms more quickly. Hay fever. I've taught this to many people around the world. Hay fever. Now, it can't cure hay fever, but it can relieve some of the symptoms for some of the time. Again, the results differ for everybody, but is it useful to you? Most likely. Now, everybody, maybe you can't do the Neti pot either. Maybe you have some structural problem that it's just not possible if you do this. Now, I've taught many people, and I've found that most people, everyone I've taught, has been able to do it to some extent. When I first started doing the Neti pot, like I said, back at that time, 10 years ago, I couldn't breathe through my nose. So it took me forever to be able to get this down. In fact, I would sit in front of my sink with my head on my hand, pouring this water into my nose, just letting it sit there because it wasn't running out. And it would just took like maybe a half an hour just to get a drip out of the other side of the nose, and then I have to go to the other side, and it was the most uncomfortable, time-consuming process, but I kept at it, and now it's almost instantaneous, like I'll show you, and I can breathe deeply and easily through my nose. So when you first start this Neti pot, don't be discouraged, because like I said, everybody is different. Everyone has different sides. We're all unbalanced. Like, I know my left side is a little bit structurally blocked, so I have to kind of give it a tug when I do the Neti pot. When I put the Neti pot in there, I kind of tug on this nostril to open it up to get a better flow. So hopefully you'll be able to do the Neti pot, and hopefully it'll help you out. I mean, the best way to do this is to have a good teacher somewhere near you who can show you and guide you on this way. I didn't, and I was able to do it, and I think it's quite intuitive once you start to open up to learning how to take care of your body in some of these more natural ways. So anyways, let's get down to it. Neti pot, many different shapes and sizes. I'll show you some. Now again, 10 years ago, no one I knew had ever seen a Neti pot. Here's one for you. Here's a big one. I like big Neti pots. Why? Because you put a lot of water in them, and you get both sides done, do all kinds of things, and you're done in one shot. But that's okay. So you have a small Neti pot, just make a lot of water and keep filling it up. This is the Neti pot I travel with. It's a plastic one, very light, won't break, so I like it. It's a small one, big one. Here's a small one. So it doesn't matter. They're all good. This part looks like a little tea kettle is going to go into your nostril. Okay, and this has a nice cap, because when you're in the beginning and you're doing the Neti pot and you don't know the angles and everything, you end up pouring water all over your face and things. Don't worry about it. It's fun. It's part of the process. Okay. So Neti pot. So we got your Neti pot. I'm going to use this one. It's my favorite one, or the one I use regularly. So, you need some water. What kind of water do we use? Well, clean water. So, get some purified water, get some pure water, filtered water, bottled water. Now, that being said, I've used water from all over the world, from India, Europe, Americas, everywhere I've been, I've used water straight out of the tap, and I have not had a problem. But, if you're concerned about your water, definitely, and I highly recommend that you get some purified, some clean water, just to be safe, okay? So, get your clean water, get your purified water, and we're going to have to warm it up, okay? So, how hot, how cold? Body temperature. It's quite, like I said, it's intuitive, but I'll walk you through it this first video. So, warm water. Put your finger in it. If you can't tell if it's hot or if it's cold, that's the right temperature, body temperature, right? If it's cold, you're going to have a bad experience. It's going to be like jumping into a pool and having the water rush up your nose, that uncomfortable feeling. It's going to be not so good. If it's too hot, you risk injury, right? So we just want warm water. You know what I'm saying? So make sure it's just warm, that you can barely feel the temperature. It's not cold, it's not hot. Okay? So warm water. And then we're going to make it a little salty, like a saline solution, right? So we want it to be like the fluids that occur naturally in our body. So we're going to add some salt. How much salt do we need? Well, not too much, not too little. Sort of like Goldilocks, right? You know Goldilocks and the Three Bears. She walks into the house. This porridge is too hot. This porridge is too cold. This porridge is just right. So you're going to find the right amount on your own. It's, like I said, it's an intuitive process. If it's too salty, you're going to know it's going to sting. It's going to be kind of hot and painful. If it's not salty enough, same thing. It's going to be stingy-like, and you're not going to have an enjoyable experience. Now, if the temperature is right and the salty is just right, you won't even feel it pass through your nose. I know most people, when I first tell them this, they think that's impossible, because everybody has the idea of jumping into a pool and having all that cold water go up your nose. Actually, it's actually very soothing, very relaxing. Okay? So you have your clean water, you've got your water warm, and you've got it salted up. And what kind of salt do you use? Make sure you use the most naturally occurring salt you can find. I like to use some just all pure natural sea salt. Use that. Now don't go using like crazy salt or flavored salts, because this is going to be very uncomfortable and taste bad, and just put a bunch of stuff you don't really want up into your nasal cavities. Okay? So, we're all set to go. We got our purified water, we've got it warm, we've got it salty. Let's show you how to do it. So I'm going to show you right now. Here, let me pull back a little bit so you can see. I'm going to mix the water. Like I said, I don't do anything with measuring 1 teaspoon. I don't do that. I just pour the water. Yeah, it's about warm. If I pour the water, I'd pour it right into my neti pot, because I got a big neti pot. You could make it in here if you got a small neti pot, no problem. So I pour it into my neti pot, get a little salt. That's my homemade salt jar. What about that? I like that. Anyways, a little salt. That may be too much. I'm not sure. You know, you have to kind of go by a feeling. We'll try that much. We'll see. I don't know. If it's too salty, add some more water. If it's not salty enough, add some more salt. Just taste it. It shouldn't be very salty, and it shouldn't be like, you know, normal water. Excuse me. Now, I don't recommend using your pots and pans as spittoons, but this is all I had right now, you know. I'm sure your girlfriend, wife, family, roommate wouldn't like that, but since no one's home, no one's gonna know. Alright, so there's my spittoon. I got my water. We're set to go. Let me move this out of the way. Alright, doing the neti pot. Okay, so we've got our water. We've got it warm, we've got it salty in our neti pot, we've got our bucket. Now again, it doesn't have to be a bucket or a pan. You go outside, do it in your lawn. That's probably the best place. Go outside, in your sink, over your toilet, whatever, in your garden. It doesn't matter. So anyways, we got neti pot, here we go. Let's do it. The nozzle goes into your nostril, okay? You're going to tilt your head forward to the side. So check it out, like this. A little bit to the side, a little forward. I say ah, here it comes. See, it's very easy. and nothing to be concerned about. Just relax. You can talk, you can look around. Nothing to be concerned about. Okay? Blow lightly. Again, lightly. Give it a little pinch. Blow lightly. You don't want to blow too hard and blow this water into places you can't get it out, in your ears and things like this. Now, the other side. Again, now since my left side is a bit structurally blocked, I mean, we all have these right, left side issues, right? So my left side is a little bit blocked, so I'm going to give it a little bit of a tug, okay, with the nozzle, tilt to the side, and say, ah, and here it comes. Ah. Again, blow lightly. Excuse me. So once you've done this, you have to dry the nostrils. So how do you dry the nostrils? You just bend forward and breathe out through your nose maybe 10 times or so. Just keep doing this for a little while. Okay, so make sure you dry your nostrils. Maybe you can do a yoga pose like downward dog or uttanasana. Touch your toes, do a little toe touching while you're blowing out. Get your nostrils dry, okay? It's very important to dry out the nostrils, right? That being said, you've dried out your nostrils and you're starting to go about your day. As a beginner, what's likely to happen is that maybe around lunchtime you go down to pick up something on the floor, a big stream of salt water is going to pour out of your nose, you know. Or maybe you bend over your boss's shoulder to look at what the paperwork, and it's going to dump all over his paperwork. It's going to happen. You know, your nose has been inflamed for all these years like mine was, and the water is having trouble coming back out. So don't worry about this. It's normal. Just laugh it off. Explain what you've been up to. Okay? So don't be concerned if during the day you bend over, water starts coming out of your nose. Now, again, everybody's different. So this could take a lot of time for you. Like I said, when I first started the neti pot, I couldn't breathe out of my nose at that time, 10 years ago. So I had to actually sit on a stool with my head propped on my hand, waiting for this water to come out. Hour and a half, sometimes an hour, 40 minutes it would take me at least to get some water to come out both sides, right? So don't be discouraged when you first try this neti pot, because everyone's different. Some people can do it right away, and others, like myself, took weeks, months to get it done. And maybe you have, again, like I said previously, I think that maybe you have some sort of structural blockage that's not allowing you to do this, and it's causing you other types of issues of breathing through your nose. So you're going to have to discover these for yourself. Maybe ask a doctor to look at it as well if you're having trouble. Other thing, don't be concerned about if the water is coming out through your mouth. That's perfectly acceptable, no problem. You can drink it. I just spit it out. In fact, I'm going to show you 2 other variations in the next video on how to actually take the water into the nose and bring it out of the mouth on purpose. And then another variation, which is to bring the water into the mouth and out the nose, so that you can work the cleansing from all these different angles. And the last video I'll probably show you how to use the Sutra Neti, which is like a piece of string or a catheter that you actually stick up your nose, out your mouth, and floss with it. Okay? So I hope that this introductory video to the neti pot has helped you out, and you've overcome your fear. Again, a lot of people tense up when they do this, so you've seen me do it, so it's possible. You know it's possible. Just remember to relax, breathe, work on the angles. Everyone's angles are different, but generally to the side. Work on the angles. Also saying ah can help. Sometimes this vibration can help move that water around there. Like I said, I hope this video helps you out. Good luck. Hope to see you sometime.